Yes?
Who is this?
Who are you trying to reach?
What number is this?
Conventions are important features for audiences to understand the genre and narrative. This is why, as a group, we decided our media product, Welcome Home, should use and develop forms and conventions of real media products rather than challenge, as this would make the trailer less noticeable. Within the horror genre, there are many subgenres such as gothic horror, psychological horror, slasher horror, and more. However, horror movies which inspired our media product were supernatural horror films such as Insidious, Paranormal Activity, The Conjuring, Sinister, Annabelle, etc. This specific type of horror tend to use a similar assortment of conventions, for example, secluded or new areas, moving objects, slamming doors, low-key lighting, disturbing sounds, fast-paced shots, and more. Our teaser trailer began with a dark introduction to the setting, which was her new home. This is a common convention done in most supernatural horror films, as seen done by Insidious, The Conjuring, and Annabelle. We used this convention as it created an eerie beginning to the trailer and gave an insight of the genre and narrative. Another convention implemented in our product was the use of hinting the idea of something supernatural. This is done through examples of creaky floorboards, moving objects, and more. An example of this which inspired us was taken from the movie Paranormal Activity with the swinging chandelier, showing uneasiness. This is also the same for the slamming doors, creating the idea of something supernatural, which is also done in other similar movies. A common form used in horror movies are close-ups to show the emotion, typically being fear, on the character's face. This is done in movies such as Psycho and Insidious. We use this convention during the last handheld shot to show the panic on the main character's face. Similarly, we use high angles to display the lack of power our main character had, which is done by when she is sleeping. This scene was originally done by The Conjuring, which we used and developed. Through editing, we created a slow beginning which was followed by fast-paced shots towards the end. This created suspense through the build-up. We were inspired by movies such as You're Next and The Conjuring and developed this by abruptly ending the sequence with the closing door, creating the impression of the trailer ending. More iconography typically used in horror films are the use of symbolism, usually being the symbolism of ghosts. We followed this convention with the use of shadows, moving objects, unexplainable actions. This is used in almost every supernatural horror film as it creates suspense for the audience. Through sound, we were able to create a more thrilling trailer by using sound effects, making scenes much more dramatic, such as when the shadow disappears. This is similarly done in Annabelle. Our main soundtrack, however, was inspired from the movie You're Next. We felt this was effective through the pace as it gradually builds up alongside the pace of the trailer. Also, the song is sung by a female. This creates a sense of fluidity through the use of the main character being a female. A convention we challenged was through the use of one main character in comparison to having a family or a couple. We felt this was more effective as the audiences would have felt more sympathetic towards the sole character. Another convention we tried to challenge was through the use of narrative, as it usually begins with everything seeming normal and happy, done in movies such as The Conjuring, Insidious, and Paranormal Activity. However, we decided to go straight into the idea of something being supernatural, making the audience on the edge of their seats from the beginning.